I have Bruce Baum speaking about his experience as a volunteer fireman. What did you do?
My job wasn't actually to fight fires. My job was to be a chaplain to the firefighters and to the people whose homes or barns had burned down.
How would you help families that had lost everything, or help someone who's lost a loved one or a pet?
Those are three different things. When you lose everything, you feel like you've lost hope. You don't know where to turn to, what to do. So my job as a chaplain would be to direct people, to tell them where they can go to get help, like the Red Cross, or sometimes communities have agencies or groups within the community or churches that will help people. And sometimes there are neighbors who are always willing to take in people who need a place to stay.
How would you help someone who lost a loved one or a pet?
Thankfully, I didn't have to help anybody who lost a loved one, although, of course, as a minister, I've done lots of funerals, but it wasn't because of fires. And if they've lost a pet, that can be very difficult because a pet is like a family member. And people feel guilty when they lose a pet in the fire because they feel responsible that they hadn't got the pet out in time. And you can't always do that because sometimes when there's a fire, pets will hide, try and get away. And so you can't find them. When there's a fire, you've got to get out of your house as quickly as possible.
How can you help everyone in need?
It's pretty hard to help everybody in need because everybody has different needs. Like they may have a medical need that I certainly can't help with. But I can tell them about doctors who would be able to help them, or pharmacies. As far as emotional needs, sometimes it's not so much what I say as it is that the people know that there's somebody who's listening to them and who cares. Because I don't have answers to all the problems in life or tragedies. But if you know there's somebody there that you can talk to or cry to, just lean on, that's a big help to people. The only time I can remember where a fireman needed help was when his own home had caught fire. And this was a volunteer fire department, so that meant that there weren't firemen in the fire station 24 hours a day. When the city's siren would blow, then the volunteer firemen from their different homes would come to the fire station, get the fire truck, their fire suits and all of that, and go to the fire and get water, that kind of thing. So sometimes, at one occasion, I had a fireman who had lost his home, and he tried everything he could to fight that fire before the firemen got there, like using a garden hose, that kind of thing. It was a kitchen fire, so it was a bad fire. It was grease, and couldn't put it out with water. It was burning on the stove.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah, he felt bad that he wasn't able to put the fire out, and by the time the firemen finally got there, the fire was pretty bad. It had already burned up the kitchen and part of the living room as well. And then after the fire was put out, there's all this water damage to the whole house. Furniture is destroyed just from water. Your walls, your pictures, your valuables. So it may not be burned up, but can be destroyed because of water.
Thank you for your time. Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
I think it's important that everybody know that when there's a crisis or somebody's in a bad situation where they need help, that we should all reach out and do it. All of us are able to help people out if we want to just give a little of ourselves, our time, our money. If kids need clothing, to do that. Food. But it's important that we all learn to help each other.
Thank you for sharing your experiences.
I am very pleased to have had this interview with you, and I thank you very much.
Thank you.